All right, we're alive. We're back. John and Jim, wrap-up show. You didn't know if I'd make it, Jim, through last night.
You survived.
I talked to you for a while last night.
I let you
I was
vent.
in rough shape.
I know you needed to vent, and I know you needed to just yell at somebody, and I was there for you. So you're welcome.
Last night was tough. I mean, if you're an Aztecs fan, last night was tough. It's been a tough week if you're a San Diego sports fan, man.
Let's roll through the misery of this week, all right?
Yeah, let's not, but yeah, please do.
All right. Monday, Tatis, broken wrist, out for 3 months. Tuesday, Wednesday, Freddie Freeman, he signs with the Dodgers. The other night, Aztecs, they lose the most heartbreaking way possible in the tournament. Yeah, that's pretty good week.
Well, there is some good news. First of all, we get baseball today. Welcome inside, by the way. Where are you watching from? Great to be with you because we don't have a John and Jim show today. We got the NCAA tournament on Extra 1360, so we're quote-unquote off today, but we're doing this. Jim's internet is still quote-unquote off as well. If you want to support Jim's internet, we have the Super Chat function. We'll answer questions as we get into spring training starting. This Luke Voit trade as well. The Padres have acquired a power-hitting right-handed bat, something they've desperately needed. What does it mean for Eric Hosmer? But let us know where you're watching from, like we always do on these live editions of the wrap-up show. Where are you watching from? We'll get into Mark Nimitz in a moment as well, our title sponsor. But it is, you know what? They hadn't done much, Jim, obviously, over the course of the last week. I think this is something that is going to prove pretty significant. Luke Voit's going to play a lot for the Padres in 2022 if he's healthy.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's the thing with Luke Voit. He has a position, and that's DH. 500 at bats. Now the question is, can he stay healthy? Can he not get injured? And can he give this team 145 games, 150 games, and 500 plate appearances at the plate?
So you think he's going to be strictly a DH? I think, and I saw AJ Preller said, and I saw Dennis Lin tweet about it, that he could be a little bit of a first base platoon and play first against left-handed pitching. Now, his splits aren't – I looked at his splits. His career splits aren't better against lefties than righties, even though he's a right-handed batter. They're the same, and he's much better against left-handed pitching than he is than Eric Hosmer against left-handed pitching. But would you be surprised if he got time? It sounds like he'll get time at first, right? Well, here we are, 2 minutes into the chat, and Jim's already lost his internet. Are you back?
I guess
Now you actually look normal. See, I like this from Phil. Pull this up real quick from Phil. And then we'll get to Mark Nimitz, the Hosmer career OPS. See, this is interesting. So Hosmer can't hit lefties, and Voigt's career OPS against lefties is something like 850 or 859. Right. So first of all, Voigt's better against lefties and righties than Hosmer. But I'm with you. You plug him in as your DH. You plug him in against left-handed pitchers at first base, and you've upgraded your lineup. I don't think this is the difference between them. Like, this isn't signing Freddie Freeman. This doesn't give them the best lineup in baseball, but it is something they probably needed to address, which was not having a DH.
But the thing with Luke Voit is you have a power guy in your lineup. His OPS, I think, career is like 830 or 840. It's over 800. I know that.
Yeah, I think it's even higher than that.
And he did hit 22 homers in 60 games in 2020.
Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous.
I think that is something that's actually you can look at. A lot of 2020 numbers were like kind of fake. I think that's something that's like, oh, that's I like that. He's a guy that if he's given 500 plate appearances, he could hit you 25 home runs. And this is what this team needs. They need a threat in the lineup. I'm not saying this guy is like the greatest power hitter of all time, but they needed something. They got him for the cheap, and that's what they did. That's a good thing. You have to spend a bunch of money on a power bat. You got one on a cheap deal for a low A pitcher.
By the way, his career OPS is 867.
I was low.
That's a big. I mean, that's a big number. He's got to stay healthy. His OPS last year, I think they're buying on the cheap. He did not have a great year. His OPS was below 800. He had that meniscus injury. AJ Preller saying he came into camp having lost some weight, looking good. It's only been a week, obviously, that he's with the Yankees. I saw the video you tweeted out from Voit where he said he was really excited about the move, fresh start, playing in San Diego. I think it's a good move. I don't think it's a game-changing move. I think it's a good move, and I give credit for AJ Preller pulling the trigger on this one. It's worth giving up a prospect in Justin Lang to acquire a guy that can help you right now as your DH. Should we get to the super chat then, Mark Nimitz?
I like it. Thank you, Anthony, for the super chat. Appreciate you. What about Alex Dickerson in left? That'd be an option, but he signed with the Braves.
He signed. I was going to say he just signed. Was that yesterday or 2 days ago?
2 days ago. He signed with
yeah. I would have liked that because it was like a completely low risk. He got like $1 million. He got $1 million or $2 million
as a bench piece, like
absolutely
left-handed bat.
Yep, absolutely. No, I like that.
He didn't do much with San Francisco last year. It was more of a problem than anything, I think, with the Giants. But yeah,
I love what Atlanta has done. I really do.
Oh my God,
I think Atlanta has done really well. I mean, to lose Freddie Freeman and get Matt Olson and sign him to that 8-year deal, I love what Atlanta's done. They've been very active.
They're very good.
All right, before we get started, we'll get to where everyone's watching from here today on this. What day is it? Friday morning. Luke Voit is a Padre. We'll get to the super chats if you want to make sure that we see your question or comment. We want to remind you that this show on YouTube wouldn't be possible without Mark Nimitz at Farmers Insurance. Whether you have auto, home, renters, or life insurance needs, earthquake insurance needs, I've got my earthquake and my homeowners in Mark's name over at Farmers Insurance. He makes it super simple. He's a huge Padres fan. And he's just got great service and communication. So if you have any insurance needs in 2022, there's a link down below for Mark Nimitz, and he can save you $750 with your insurance this year. He can save you even more than that if you have an electric vehicle, but that's real money. I mean, $60-$70 a month he can save you if you have insurance needs. So if you have those, if you support this channel, if you want to support a local business in San Diego, Mark Nimitz has one of those. So please contact Mark if you have insurance needs.
Yep. All his information always above my head. mnimitz@farmersagent.com. That's mnimitz@farmersagent.com. When you reach out to him, let him know that John and Jim from the Wrap-Up Show sent you.
Manuel, thank you for the super chat. I think it's just a super chat from Manuel.
Shout out, Manuel. Thank you.
If you have a question, Manuel, you can chime back in. We'll get to it.
If you meant to ask a question
or have a comment. Yeah. So okay, where are people watching from today? Should we run through some of that?
Yeah, man. Let's do this. I'm good. John's not. He's still very depressed.
I'm honestly, I didn't sleep well last night. You can ask Kristen; she's right here. She didn't either. I mean, I eventually fell asleep on the couch at 4:10 in the morning. No joke,
dude.
Yeah. Because it's just running. You know how it is when you lose a game. Everyone knows how that is. Padres games, Aztecs games, whatever your favorite team is in another sport. North of Seattle. I like it.
Yeah. Wichita, Kansas.
What's up, Greg?
JL watching from their cubicle at work.
Yes.
I like it.
This is like the least productive work day because you have the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
You
Priorities,
got Luke Voit. Yeah.
Priorities. Anthony's in LA. Yeah, it was. I'm going to just blow through my data to try to.
You're not on your phone right now, are you?
I'm linked to my phone as a hotspot.
Gotcha. Don't worry about your data. What is it? A couple grand a month? You're good.
That's fine. Albany, New York. Got San Diego.
Oh, San Diego. I like that.
Nice. I love San Diego.
What's up, Sam?
Temecula at work.
I like it.
Just an island. Stop fighting, please.
Wait, what does that even mean?
I don't know.
Is that in reaction to our photo of us both as girls?
Probably.
And by the way, is Jim a better looking girl than I am when you do the photo filter?
100%.
Yeah, I can admit that. I think you had a better photo of yourself, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Oh, Steve, look at that. Nice. Steve's going to the game.
Awesome. You got a couple hours there, so perfect.
I'm calling it still a must win, especially after last night.
Yes. Need some good things.
Need a bounce back.
At work in Coronado.
What's going on, Michael?
Got Utah. Phoenix going to the game today. Very
awesome.
Nice. All right. So
let's get to a super chat.
We have more?
Yeah, Trevor.
Oh. Hold on. Sorry. You guys think there's a chance that we get Brian Reynolds or Cedric Mullins? I've not heard anything about Cedric Mullins. I think he would cost a lot of money, or not money, but a lot of prospects.
Capital. Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Brian Reynolds. If I were to choose one, who would you choose, John?
Reynolds.
Yeah.
I'd take Reynolds right now. It's
Mullins is
exactly what they
pretty
need.
freaking good, though, dude.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I mean, Mullins is similar because he's like 27 years of age.
Yeah.
Um, left-handed bat. I thought AJ Preller mentioned the fact earlier today, like in getting Voit, they probably needed a right-handed bat. No, I mean, it's a fair point. You can't go wrong with either. Would be my speculation. Here's the thing: I just don't know what those are going to cost. I think they're going to cost a lot. I think it's like a Matt Olson type move where you got to give up a lot to get a player of that caliber. That would be my concern. Obviously, they're both. Reynolds is a switch, right? Reynolds is a switch
He's a switch
hitter.
hitter. I think
I,
Cedric
I
Mullins
kind
might
of
be a switch hitter.
is he? I thought he was a lefty, but he might be a switch.
I don't follow much
Um,
Orioles baseball.
But that's why I like Brian Reynolds. I mean, he's a switch. I love having that platoon advantage. He's coming off a 6 WAR season. He's going to get a lot, or the Pirates are going to get a lot for him. He's under control. I don't know the full contract status of Cedric Mullins. I mean, I think they're at least plausible, Jim. I mean, I think there's a scenario. AJ Preller, I saw Marty tweeted something out. His scrum with the media today. AJ Preller's not done. Now he's not willing to
No.
say, "Hey, we're going to make huge moves and we're going to do all this," but AJ Preller's not done. They need to add an outfielder. He said they might address pitching as well. He said it's not a finished roster. It didn't scream they're going to blow by the luxury tax threshold to me. This Luke Voit move to me tells you a lot about what the Padres are capable of doing, right? Like this is a move that makes them better, but this isn't a move that cost them $200 million to get
Right.
better. So to
And
me, that's pretty telling.
this is what I've said for the last couple months. Big contracts are great. I would love them to get Seiya Suzuki. I would
Sure.
love them to get Nick Castellanos or even Chris Bryant. Those are all great, and we would all freak out. But at some point, AJ Preller is going to need to find like the diamonds in the roughs, and he needs to find players that don't cost a lot of money and they overperform for this team. They just need to have those role players step up because you know what you're going to get from Machado. When Tatis is healthy, you know what you're going to get. You need to have the guys that are, on minimum deals or 1 year's $5 million deals, and they need to outperform those contracts. And it needs to be not just one guy, but a couple guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully, Luke Voit, Nick Martinez, those are type of players that can outperform their deals, and Preller needs to hit on some of them.
Yeah. I think that's well said. I agree with that. I lost my train of thought. Didn't sleep. Oh yeah, Voigt's controllable, or they have him through 2024. He's not a free agent until 2025. That's the other thing. I mean, he's going to be our arbitration guy, so you get
He
paid a
loves
little bit.
controllable guys too.
Yeah, but controllable. I like this move. I do. I don't think it's a game-changing move. He had a .3 WAR last year. He was really good in 2020. He's had this meniscus, so I'll give him 2021 because he wasn't fully healthy and say he's capable of having a better 2022. You got to remember, though, Yankee Stadium is a lot different to hit at than Petco Park. Now, Petco Park's been a better hitting yard over the last couple of years than it previously was, but it's not Yankee Stadium. It is not Yankee Stadium. So hopefully he can have – I mean, if he's an 850 OPS guy, maybe a little higher than that in his first year in a Padres uniform as the DH primarily and as a first baseman against left-handed pitching, I think that's a really good year, and I think that's an upgrade.
Yeah, 100%. We were staring down the barrel of Jerkson Profar, Austin Nola,
Ha-Seong Kim.
and Ha-Seong Kim as your DH.
Well, remember, I mean, there were people saying, people asking about, like, what about DHing? Yeah, Hosmer, Kim. It doesn't make sense. The game isn't predicated. You got to get real power. You got to get real power out of that spot. You don't just rotate through guys because they have to play. You got to get real power out of that spot.
All right. I've got another super chat here from Anthony.
Thanks, Anthony.
Thanks, Anthony. Appreciate you.
Guys, for the super chats.
What about Conforto? I like Conforto. Again, is how much money is he going to cost, though?
Yeah, I don't see it.
Do the Padres, can they do that?
I don't see it.
We talked to Kevin AC the other day, and he's like, "There's a lot of moves on the table here, but they all predicate on trading away Eric Hosmer." So, I think that would be another. That would to me, just being him being a Boris client. Maybe you have to get rid of Hosmer to pull the trigger there. I mean, I don't know.
Did you see the stuff today? They talked to Hosmer, and he said he's all in. He just wants to win. I respect that if that's how it played out. I think he gets it. He's not playing 160 games.
Well, you know what it says to me is that like you said the other day, the veteran voice of Bob Melvin is going to be a big factor to start this season with the
Yeah,
loss of
definitely.
Tatis.
Yep.
And you need guys to buy in. If Jace Tingler or Andy Green's going up to Eric Hosmer and telling him that, it might not go over the same as Bob Melvin saying that.
I think it's a
And
great point.
and for this team, you are going to need to have buy-in from all 26 guys on this roster, on this active roster. And it starts honestly, it starts with Hosmer. If he's not going to buy in, if he's going to pout, if he's going to be upset, if he's not going to, be happy with the situation that he's in right now, then that's a big problem. But Bob Melvin is there to help that situation and to make sure that situation doesn't turn into anything, and make sure that Eric Hosmer, while he's here, if he's on this roster opening day, is 100% bought in, regardless of how well or not well he performs on the field.
And I thought Preller today said something that we've been saying previously, and I'm glad to hear him say it, that Tatis's injury doesn't change his line of thinking in terms of aggressiveness. I think it's smart. I don't think now is the time to panic on March 17th or 18th or whatever day it is in advance of the season. Now, I think he understands the hurdles ahead are significant. I mean, you look at the Dodgers. I don't even know what to say about the Dodgers right now. I really don't. I mean,
I don't want
I
to
don't
talk
want to talk about
Dodgers.
it, to be honest with you.
They're too good.
I don't want to talk about what they've done, honestly. And Bob Melvin basically said that he needs to worry about his team. With all that being said, you don't go buy Correa, Story. Don't do something stupid here that's putting you behind
because you've
the
already done
eight ball.
stupid stuff.
They've already done stupid things. I mean, listen,
Yeah.
everyone wants Carlos Correa or Trevor Story, but you got Fernando Tatis Jr. He will be back. The surgery was successful. You got to get over these 3 months of time, and that's what good teams do, Jim. Like we said, I mean, there are no excuses here. Maybe he finds a middle infielder, and that's fine. Maybe he can upgrade. But don't go do something stupid here because you're without a great player for 2 months. I don't think that's going to solve the problem. That's not bringing Fernando Tatis Jr. back in the field.
No, it's not. Another super chat here from Trevor.
Thanks,
Trevor.
Thank you.
If we could move Haas, wouldn't we have done it already? I think they would have, but it's much easier said than done. There's a lot of moving pieces here to make that happen, because you trade Haas, you need to have a first baseman. Can Luke Voit play 155 games at first? No.
No.
Like, I'd rather have Luke Voit as your DH. And you can move Cronenworth to first, and you can put Profar at second, or Kim at second, or however you wanted to do it. So,
Bless you.
sorry, every time I talk about Hosmer, I'm allergic.
You're not kidding.
Yeah. But yeah, they would have moved him if they could.
I will say this about Luke Voit. I see people just joining the chat. If you're just getting here, by the way, we have year-round exclusive Padres content, and literally the season starts today. Spring training starts today. We're calling it a must-win game. We're kidding. Padres, Mariners in Peoria. But if you're looking for year-round exclusive Padres content, that's what we're here for. So please hit the subscribe button. We really appreciate that support. Please hit the notification bell as well. Thank you, Thor, for Jim. Make sure to smash the like button. Please smash the like button. And also follow us on Twitter at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. And please support our sponsors as well. We'll tell you about our partnership with Aura coming up in a moment. I will say this as people get into the chat. I think we both like this deal. I don't know if we've officially. I like this Luke Voit deal. I don't think it's a game-changing move. I knew they were going to find a DH eventually to play or to get a majority of the starts there. I think it's an upgrade, over Eric Hosmer at first. If they have to put him at first, it's an upgrade over whatever else they had. Whoever hell they had to play DH to start 2022. He's controllable for 3 years. They gave up, I think, a prospect pitcher, but not anything that's going to kill him in the short term. AJ Preller spoke highly of Justin Lang earlier today, but that's what a trade is. The Yankees should get something in return. I think it's good for the Padres right now. I don't think it overcomes what the Giants and the Dodgers have done recently. Rodon, Freeman. I mean, obviously, they're not comparable moves, in my opinion, but I don't think AJ Preller's done either.
Right. I don't think he can't be done. This roster is not complete yet. You still need a left fielder. You need more pitching. You need bullpen help. Drew Pomeranz is hurt again. So you have to deal with that void in your bullpen. I like the Luke Voit deal too. Is it like a game-changing move? No. but does it fill a need that you had on this roster? Absolutely. And the upside of Luke Voit is exactly what this team needs. A guy that could DH for you every day. He's a masher. He'll have a OPS, hopefully, if healthy, over 850, which is exactly what you need. He can hit you 20 to 25 bombs in a season.
Or more.
Depends. I mean,
he's never done that. He's
if
never hit
2020
more
was a
than
regular
that.
year, he would have had like 50
40.
plus home runs.
Yeah.
So it's a low risk, high reward type of deal. And if it doesn't work out, you're not losing much, I feel like. So with Justin Lang.
I'm with you, and there's a lot of conversation. I see it in the chat. We'll get to the super chat here from Alex in a moment. There's a lot of conversation, Jim, about like a Jorge Soler, about an Austin Meadows. Does this move have anything to do with that? No, I still think they could acquire someone like that because you just addressed DH first base. You haven't addressed your outfield. I don't know what Soler is going to command. I don't know what he deserves, to be honest with you. I know he had a good postseason. He did not have a good regular season. He's never
more
really
than what the Padres are willing.
Yeah. So, I mean, I like the Meadows idea more than I would like signing Jorge Soler.
Right.
Let's get to another super chat.
John was on a bender last night after that Aztec game. He drowned himself in kombucha.
Man, I wish I did. I thought about stopping to get something, but that wouldn't have made it any better.
Just made it worse.
You know those, like, what's a recent Padres game? The 16-inning game. And now that's over 162, but it's like that game is so definable, and it made you kind of sick because of how it ended. And the Aztecs game yesterday is like, man, it was right there for the taking. And give Creighton credit. It was just heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking if you're an Aztecs fan.
Yeah. So
yeah, other than that,
it's fine.
Other than that, everything's great. Everything's great other than that.
Let's get to Aura. Let's get to Aura, then we'll get to the lineup.
Yeah, let's get to that lineup. Okay, so we ask that you support our sponsors. Again, Mark Nimitz over at Farmers Insurance. Also, Aura. We want to welcome Aura to the wrap-up show. They're a natural supplement and plant-based nutrition company. This is a company that can really improve your health in 2022. Your health, your spouse's health, your children's health. They got so many unbelievable plant-based products. Their co-founder, Will, is a San Diegan and a huge Padres fan. He's got a great offer for our viewers. 30% off your first order. And they've got products that are, again, the best supplements and proteins on the market. It's as simple as that. I take this probiotic that's been so good for my digestion. Typically, it's good for my sleep, not last night. It's typically good for my sleep, heart health. I mean, everything. If you don't take a probiotic, you really should. You'll notice just general improved health if you take it. Jim's been taking proteins. They've got pre-workout powders. They have post-workout powders. They have fish oils. There are a lot of products in there that can really improve your health in 2022. So again, there's a link down below, ora.organic. ora.organic. Use promo code WRAPUP. That's promo code WRAPUP. You'll get 30% off your first order with ora.organic. Link down below.
Yeah, I've been taking the raspberry lemonade flavored pre-workout. It's delicious, jitter-free. It's the cleanest pre-workout on the market. And they don't just have that at this store. I mean, they have everything you need to live a healthy lifestyle. We're hooking you up with 30% off your first order using our promo code WRAPUP. Just go there right now, order a bunch of stuff, get 30% off. You'll thank us later. Do it.
Absolutely. Right. Please support this channel. If you've been viewing this channel, we appreciate the support of Aura, of Mark Nimitz. If you're purchasing Padres tickets, there's a link down below, by the way, through StubHub. Do so with us. Just click that link down below. You get the 100% Fan Protect guarantee. Again, if you have a super chat, if you want to make sure we see your comment, you can hit that $sign. We'll get to the super chats here over the course of this live chat. Do you want to pull up the Padres opening day spring training lineup today in Peoria?
Yeah, I do.
I'm excited to see it.
Have you not seen it yet?
I saw it.
Okay. There's one interesting thing about it. All right. So, all right, Gersham's leading off.
Mm-hmm.
Machado's hitting second. Nola's hitting third, playing catcher. Myers in right. Hosmer at first. Campusano at DH. I like that. Profar in left. Abrams at short. Rosario at second.
Is the interesting thing for you Cronenworth?
Well,
just because we knew about his health, but I'm just saying that's now official. I mean, obviously he's a little bit behind if he's not playing.
Cronenworth and Kim.
Okay, so that is interesting about Kim. That is interesting
If
about
Kim
Kim.
is expected to take over the bulk of the playing time with Tatis out, and
And
he's
where is
not
he?
playing, and where is he?
I mean, is there something we don't know about, a nick or a bruise? That's a good question. I don't know.
Well, another thing too is like this dude can't hit a fastball if his life depended on it, and he needs to fix that.
Well,
So
don't you
the
fix that
more
in spring training?
that's what you do. The more you play in spring training, I feel like the more opportunities you have to hit fastballs, and he needs to do that. If you can't do that, then that's going to be a problem.
Is this game televised, by the way? I don't. Is it televised? I think so, right?
Yeah, it's on Bally.
On Bally Sports San Diego.
Yeah.
I actually like this lineup a lot, by the way. For spring training lineup, that's an incredible lineup. Because oftentimes in spring
For the
training.
first game of spring,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, come on.
And I'm excited to see Abrams. I hope Abrams hits. I'd love to see him force their hand. I think that's going to be hard to do. I think it'll be real hard to do with so few games and coming off that injury. But if he could hit something like 350 just to make it compelling this
Right.
spring. Other than that, I mean, I'm interested to see guys like Myers and Hosmer. I'm interested to see what Campusano can do. I thought he played really well in the second half last year in AAA. Oh, it's free on the MLB app. Interesting. Oh, that's good to know. That's good to know.
Yeah. Perfect.
All right, good. That's how I'll be watching today, I think.
So you think this is kind of comparable to what the opening day lineup could look like? Just put Voit in the DH spot, maybe move him up a little bit higher in the lineup?
So this is hard for me to read right off this screen right now. Who's the DH in this lineup right here? Camp?
Campusano, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you put Campusano in. I think Kim's going to start opening day. I think they'll address left field if I was guessing, but maybe not. They might not address it right away. Yeah, I think there's some. Yeah, Cronenworth, obviously. Yeah, it's probably similar to what they're going to have. That's what they're going to have to start the year. Maybe one
Like,
additional piece, but not Freddie Freeman.
No. No, don't
You know
talk
what I
about
mean?
that.
Not a player of that caliber.
But if you had a lineup like, all right, Grisham leads off, Machado second, Cronenworth third, Voit fourth, Myers fifth, Nola sixth, Hosmer seventh, Profar eighth, Kim ninth.
It's serviceable. It could have its moments. I think it's lacking.
It is lacking. You're missing the best player in baseball.
Can you survive it for 2 months? Yeah, maybe you can with good pitching. Yeah, they probably can. I mean, again, this is why AJ Preller's probably not panicking. I don't think it's the worst lineup in baseball. I also don't think it's close to the best. I think it's an average. I think it would be an average lineup, and they'd have to play. To your point, some guys would have to outperform some career numbers or contracts to put them in a position to be, near first place after 2 months. I mean, they'd have to really play well with that lineup. So I don't think it's the end of the world if that's their lineup to start the year. It's not what Padres fans were hoping for coming out of the lockout. They're hoping for Tatis. They're hoping for one of these free agent sluggers potentially as well. And that's not what's going to happen. It doesn't sound like. I don't see Nick Castellanos coming. I don't see them going over this luxury tax number is my speculation.
Real quick, I apologize for what I'm about to do. Just keep talking.
What are you going to do? I'm not talking until I see what you're going to do. What are you doing? Oh, are you changing your internet? Are you gone? Why? What happened? Your data ran out or something?
I had to switch over back to my crappy, shitty internet.
So wait, what's the deal? How much is a hotspot? Just like you don't have unlimited hotspot usage?
I don't know. I just started using it. I just tried it the other day.
Call like Verizon or whoever your provider is and be like, yo, my
AT&T,
internet
bro.
sucks. Yeah, it's probably like $10 a month for like unlimited hotspot usage. And your internet is okay right now.
Whatever. So what do you want to see out of Gore today?
Gore.
He's facing a pretty damn good lineup. Do you see the lineup for the Mariners today?
Can you pull that up? Okay, Mariners lineup for us. We're really breaking this down. We're giving more attention to this Padres Mariners game than anyone else. Anyway,
John, it's a must-win game.
I know. Yeah, in terms of what I expect from Mackenzie Gore, I want him to throw strikes. I don't care if he gets hit, but I can't deal with command issues. That'll bring us right into that conversation again. why can't this guy throw strikes? What happened to him? So I want to see him throw strikes. If he gives up a run, he gives up 2 runs, whatever. But I want to see him throw strikes.
All right, pulling it up. Here we go. What is this? Okay. Winker's in the lineup. Yeah, Ty France is in the lineup.
Haniger, J.P. Crawford,
Suarez is in the lineup. And this is like their opening day lineup.
Yeah, that's like Adam Frazier revenge game.
Revenge game for Adam Frazier.
Yeah, watch. He's going to go 4 for 4 with like a triple and a homer, which is something he never did. Did he homer in a Padres uniform?
Honestly, I don't think he did. I don't think he made it to the warning track. I'm like dead serious. I don't think he hit a ball to the warning track. I'm not trying to be like a shit on him, but like 1 home run. Okay, one home run. That tells you everything. That tells you how memorable it was.
It's been such a bad offseason that I could even argue that they shouldn't have traded Adam Frazier because they lost Fernando Tatis Jr. I mean, that's how bad of an offseason it's been. Listen, I think Seattle's actually, I mean, that's a good lineup. They could be improved. They were decent last year. They won
90 games last year, John.
Yeah, that's just gonna say, they never make the playoffs. Maybe they're due to do that now that there's an extra spot.
Yeah. No, the Mariners.
What do you want to see from Gore, right? 2 relatively clean innings without walks, right?
Yeah, his command is the biggest thing that you have to look at today. No walks. You don't want to have him get in a bunch of high counts, like a bunch of 3-2 counts. You would like to see 2 clean innings. Obviously, that's the goal. If he gives up a run, that's fine, but it has to. They can't be long innings. Like they can't have a situation like they did last year where they just stop the inning. Like, no, you have to finish the inning here, bro. So yeah, command is number 1. Number 2 is make sure he doesn't get in a bunch of three ball counts.
Yeah.
And then, 1 run or less. I'll be fine with that.
Yeah, I agree with that. It'll be interesting to see. It's been a short period of time with Ruben Niebla. Does that have any impact this quickly? Yeah, Sam, that would be nice too.
Yeah.
The other thing I'll say is he was the last time we saw him on a mound, Jim, correct me if I'm wrong. Did he pitch in the Arizona Fall League? I know he was pitching in that Arizona League against youngsters. I forget if he did pitch in the Arizona Fall League, and then they just shut him down because he had an awful outing.
Right.
But my point is to go from the Arizona Fall League or even that Arizona League that he was pitching in against those young players to now pitching against Ty France, professional hitter. Mm-hmm. I mean, the J.P. Crawford coming off a good year. I mean, that whole lineup. That's a tall task. It really is. Like,
right.
He's going to potentially have to pitch really well to have a good outing here today. This isn't just get by, throw strikes, and you can throw 96 over the plate and get by. I don't think so. Not against that lineup. Not today. So I'm with you. I mean, I would even be encouraged by 2 innings, no walks, a couple of strikeouts. And yeah, like you said, if it's a run, it's a run. If it's 2, I mean, I wouldn't go crazy if you allowed more than a run. I just want to see him throw strikes, strike out some guys as well,
Right. And Mackenzie Gore's success this year is everything to this scouting department, drafting department, AJ Preller, the organization, because they drafted this guy 3rd overall, and Preller has never drafted a pitcher and developed him to the point where he came up and actually contributed with the Padres. So to have Gore hit or at least be competent, like that's a huge thing for this organization, and it needs to start today. And that's the big question mark that we've been talking about a lot the last couple of years. What's up with Mackenzie Gore? And you kept him. Doesn't look like you're going to trade him. So now you got to develop him right, and you have to make sure that he delivers.
3 things I want to see today: Gore, Abrams, Campusano. Because this camp is so short. Like to your point on Gore, if he doesn't look good now, he's going to make like 2 or 3 more appearances in spring. That's going to be it. I mean, there's 17 or 18 games. This is
as many at bats as possible.
More appearances.
Right. Like I want to see Campusano as much as CJ Abrams. I want to see Gore a bunch. Like they need a lot of work. The regulars, it's fine. Like, but those 3 guys there, Campusano, Abrams, and Gore, I want to see a lot of those guys.
Yeah, and then I want to see Voit in camp, obviously, over the
Yep.
course of the next couple of days. I want to see Cronenworth back in the field. I
Yep.
do want to see Kim because I think
Yeah.
Kim's going to be important for them because he has to be
He
important for
has
them.
to be.
Yeah, so like I'm not as worried. We know what Hosmer, whatever, Myers, whatever. Right now, I don't care. They could hit, they could not hit. I don't think it impacts them in the regular season really.
Mhm.
It's the same thing with Machado. I mean, I just want to see him be healthy, loose. I'm not concerned about any of those players. Trent Grisham, so
Stay
streaky.
healthy.
Yeah, stay healthy. I think that's probably the best point. Yes, stay
Mhm.
healthy. That's a good point. Let's get to some of these super chats. Again, if you want to make sure we get your comment, you can use that super chat function. We're talking about Padres spring training opener. Luke Voit is now Padre as well. If it's your first time to the wrap up show on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button as well and the notification bell if you're a Padres fan.
Alex, I feel like the only way they will improve this team will be all the trades, Meadows on the cheap, and I don't know. I still feel like they will get Soler. I think the trade market is the route that Preller is going to go now. He
Mm.
tried for Seiya Suzuki, probably tried for Freddie Freeman.
Yeah,
Also
maybe.
tried to get rid of Eric Hosmer, and all those moves. I don't think I don't think they did not work out. So now you have to go. You have to have every option available, and trade market is you force guys to come here, So yeah, I think that maybe the next move. And hey, who knows? They could re-sign Tommy Pham to like a cheap ass 1-year deal.
I'm not sure what that accomplishes other than provide you the depth that is necessary to enter a 162 game season. They need an outfielder. I don't know what it really accomplishes. I guess if you need a part, which they do, and they don't have that player available right now in their system, then it's a
Mhm.
cheap flyer. That what's the worst thing that happens? He
Right.
doesn't perform.
That's why for me, do I want Tommy Pham back on this roster? Not really. But if he's an option and you can get him for cheap and he's a you know, depth guy, that's what they need.
Yeah, I'm looking at Meadows' numbers. I mean, Meadows has had good years, Jim. He's also had okay years. I mean, his on base percentage the last 2 years, 2020, the short year, 296. His on base percentage last year in 142 games was 315. That doesn't scream Padres AJ Preller modern
No,
baseball to me. I mean, he's got some
no.
pop in his bat, but like Voigt's a guy that's getting on base 36, 37% of the time. Meadows isn't.
Right. Yeah.
Now, is that better than Pham because he can hit 25 home runs? Yeah, probably is. It is, but what
What
are you going to give up for a guy that gets on base 30% of the time? That's
what's
not good enough.
Can you pull up Soler's numbers?
Yeah, it's not good. His regular season numbers are not good.
No, and trust me, I've looked at WAR a lot. Eric
Yeah,
Hosmer's at the bottom of the list of WAR
sure.
players in baseball. Well, guess who's literally right there with him? It's
Soler.
Jorge Soler.
So Soler last year 749 OPS, career 796, which isn't terrible. I mean, it's not terrible.
But for a massive contract, like 3 years, 40 something million.
I mean, if again, it's all based on what he did in Kansas City that 1 year. I mean, he hit what he had 40 plus home runs in
48.
2019.
Yeah.
So that's his career. His career is that season. In
Right.
2020, he hit 228 with a 769 OPS. Last
Yeah.
year he combined to have a 749 OPS. Now he hit with Atlanta. He hit with Atlanta after the trade deadline. Now, was that lightning in a bottle? I don't know. I mean, again, 2019 Kansas City, really good. 50 games with Atlanta, really good. He's also had some really bad seasons. He's also not a kid. He's 30. I think you might have to overpay to get him. I'm not opposed to the idea of the move. I'm really not because he's got legitimate power based on Kansas City 2019. His year was ridiculous.
Right.
But I just
The
don't know
money
what
that
I'd
you're
be
going to
willing to
pay him.
pay. What's
Right.
that?
If the money is like I would have loved Jock Peterson for a 1-year, $6 million deal.
Yes, absolutely. Is that what he got?
1 year's $6 million straight up, no incentives, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the type of moves I would have loved. That's why I like this Voit deal a lot, is because you gave away very little for a guy that had a huge upside.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, the Peterson thing, the thing I'm thinking about it right now, like the reason it surprises me is to not make a move like that is he maybe thinks he can do better, is my guess. You know what I mean?
Preller?
Like, I think he could,
Yeah.
Preller could do better than Peterson. But now that I think about it, and now that free agents come off the board, you can buy someone better. They don't have that
Yeah.
money. You can
Right.
maybe trade for someone better, but what are you giving up?
Right.
So maybe
And
he envisions needing someone better than Jock Peterson.
there's a lot of pressure here for Preller. What just happened with the Dodgers? You can't just say this team is it. I'm sorry. You can't. You have to counter. You're not going to counter to the level of Freddie Freeman, but you have to counter with at least something.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Well,
if the
Luke Voit.
Dodgers stay healthy, they could win 115 games this year. I mean, that's how ridiculous that lineup is with a top farm system, with the pitching they have. Like they could be unstoppable this year. You have to counter in some way. Voigt's a nice start.
Say that again?
Voit is a nice start.
It is. Andy Martino, Andy Martino with the SNY. He's been around during this lockout. He just tweeted. You see his tweet?
Did you? Where is it?
Padres have expressed interest in Dom Smith and Jeff McNeil, per sources, but it hasn't progressed and remains a quote-unquote long shot that Mets will trade either. Expected to stay, as is J.D. Davis. Mets were asked, we're not shopping. So Padres are active right now. Dom Smith, left-handed outfielder, had an awful year last year.
Preller's trying everything. He is on the phone trying everything he possibly can.
Yeah, Jeff McNeil, let me just pull this up here. Left-handed bat, 1.4 WAR last year. A little utility guy, right? Plays a little bit of everything. Second, left, third. I don't know what to make of that. He needs depth, obviously.
Yeah, he needs depth, and he clearly doesn't think like Profar, Kim, and Rosario, and I mean, I'm looking at their 40 man right now. They're 20. It's like the position players. It's very sparse. Like they have more catchers than they have outfielders right now, John.
That doesn't make any sense. That's
not
weird.
Good. That's not
They have
good.
3 outfielders on their 40 man, right?
3 outfielders, and they put Profar as an outfielder.
Right. I mean, I guess you could probably play someone. I'm sure there's someone else in this roster that can play outfield, but you don't want that. I don't really want to see the Ha-Seong Kim experiment in the outfield. Why would you want that?
No. But that's the thing here is like you need depth. That's why the Tommy Pham thing for a 1 year, $5 million wouldn't be like the worst thing in the world. But you'd also need to go out and trade for other pieces as well.
If AJ Preller, and maybe this isn't his full line of thinking, but if he's calling the Mets about Jeff McNeil and Dom Smith, again, is that looking into where the state of this front office and franchise is today with their payroll issues, already over $200 million? Or maybe, who knows? That's
probably.
just it seems that way. I mean, it seems like if you're calling the Mets about Dom Smith and Jeff McNeil, then you might not be like in the Michael Conforto sweepstakes as a free agent. And maybe I'm wrong. And I don't even know if I want to be. I don't even know if you're a Padres fan, if you really want Michael Conforto or so. I mean, you're going to give a lot of money and a lot of years to a player that's had up and down seasons.
Yep.
You're going to put yourself in a tougher spot to win potentially 1 year from now or 2 years from now, right? Just by tying up money.
Mm-hmm. And my thinking is probably behind closed doors, while Peter Seidler says publicly, like, oh, we have a vision and money and blah, 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 blah. Like, hey, we're not going over this luxury tax until you actually win something. Until you actually get a winning season under your belt with the money you've spent on this roster, the money I've spent on this roster, I'm not going over the luxury tax. If you can prove to me that the players you signed are worth it and lead to winning seasons and postseason runs, then yeah, I'll think about going over the luxury tax, and I probably will go over the luxury tax. But until that happens, like not doing it.
Yeah, not again. He went over last year. I mean, they went over last year to win 79 games.
So, hey, buddy, Preller, prove it first that you can actually build a roster that can win and compete and make the postseason. Then we'll talk about next year going over the luxury tax. Like, until then, and unless you can get rid of Hosmer, unless you can get rid of Myers, like, bro, we're not going over the luxury tax here.
Let's get back to Alex's super chat. Again, we appreciate the super chats. If you want to make sure we see your comment or question here today, you can use that super chat function like Alex just did. Thank you, Alex, for your support of Jim's internet.
Yes, appreciate you. He says, I feel like all these trades Preller's been trying to do, he's tried to include Hosmer, and probably the reason why none of them progressed. Maybe. I mean, how many times has Preller probably brought up Eric Hosmer in trade discussions in the last week? I would guess a lot.
Yeah, I agree with you, Alex, and I think that's why maybe he's been quiet, because to make any move of substance, maybe he needs to move Eric Hosmer. Although I do think this Luke Voit deal is of substance. Yeah, it's an interesting point. I will say this: the fact that he spoke with Hosmer today, as did Bob Melvin, and they kind of explained the Voit move. I think they envision Eric Hosmer starting the year here at the very least. This is going to be tough. I mean, at this point, it seems like he's going to be here. It really does. I mean,
unfortunately,
I'd be surprised if he wasn't. So yeah, it is a little bit unfortunate, but maybe they've gotten better at first base because he's not going to play there every day, because he's going to play 100 games, not 140, because Voigt's going to play there against lefties, because Cronenworth maybe will play there, because Hosmer's really now going to come off the bench half the season if they have him. I mean, if Hosmer doesn't hit, they have no obligation to play Eric Hosmer. It's as simple as that. They're in the business of winning. They paid him the money already. If he doesn't hit, he's not going to be playing every day. It is as simple as that.
And if you have another option besides him, if he can't hit, then you have that now with Luke Voit, and you don't have to move Cronenworth over to first. And then once Tatis gets back, you're going to have more flexibility. So yeah, you've just created, hey, if you're not hitting, we have another option, and not only do we have another option, we have two other options, Cronenworth and Voit. So it's up to you to hit, plain and simple.
Yeah. No, you're 100% right. I mean, it'll be interesting to see some of these like minor league invite guys. Like, will someone earn a job out of camp to be a fourth outfielder? Yeah, probably. By the way, probably that will happen
at the start of the year, probably. And you have to always remember, guys, like the opening day roster. We'll talk about it. We'll critique it. We'll say what we like. We say what we don't like. But we always have to remember, like, this opening day 26-man roster is not the roster that's going to be like all year. It's not. There's going to be injuries. There's going to be moves made. There's going to be guys returning from injury. So it's all fluid. It's about 50 guys, not 26 right now.
Yeah, exactly. Bob Melvin said that. I mean, you need a good organization to win at the big league level for 162. I think the Padres last year proved that they weren't the organization maybe some people thought that they were, because they didn't have depth. They just didn't. And the second half of the year proved that. They had no starting pitching depth. Hopefully they have more starting pitching depth this year. And that starts today with Mackenzie Gore. Is he someone you can rely on at all in 2022 or not? We'll probably find out in spring training. And if we don't find out in spring training, we'll find out in April in Double or Triple A.
Yep, 100%.
Before we go real quick, by the way, my wife brought up a very interesting talking point she saw on the internet. I just want to throw this out to you, and I'll leave this here. Do you think there are more doors or wheels in the world?
Okay. Currently, okay, well, hold on. This is great talking. This is great discussion. What do you consider a door?
Something
like a
cabinet door? Walk through?
Or something that you walk through? Because if it's something like a refrigerator door, if that's considered a door,
that's a door, I think.
Or like a cabinet door, right?
Kristen, does a refrigerator door count? Yeah, it's all doors.
What about cabinet?
I think cabinet doors count. I mean, are those doors?
It's a it's a door, right?
See, Quan with a great point. Does a car door count? The answer is doors. The answer is doors.
Because if you have a car, right, you have four wheels on the car. Is a trunk is that a door?
That's a trunk. Hey Travis, what about a doggy door? It's got to be doors, because to Quan's point, there's four doors on every car essentially, and there's four wheels on every car. So you're starting
before I get to my car on the street, I can count 15 doors.
Yeah, I mean, if car doors count, then the answer, in my opinion, is doors. But apparently, it's like taking the internet by storm.
I know.
There's a lot of wheels out there.
There's a lot of wheels.
Do toy wheels count? Like my 3-year-old has like a zillion wheels on his toys. Doors all day, Myers.
Sorry, someone was calling me.
Um, food for thought as we start spring training. Are there more doors or wheels in the world?
This is a great point as well. What about toy car wheels?
Toy wheels. Yep. And every drawer has wheels. Oh, it's true because the drawer has wheels in the drawer.
Right.
Big rigs have 18 wheels. I mean, it's probably close. I don't know if anyone knows the answer.
I would say this. It's not. I don't think it's definitive.
Really? Even with all the cars having doors.
I also love you saw the Padres social tweet yesterday about the doors and wheels, right?
No, was that on Padres Twitter?
Yeah. So
I didn't realize that because my wife mentioned it to me. That's why I brought it up.
So yeah, Padres Twitter posted like a hidden camera or whatever, and they put like a question up, and then the players would have to answer the question.
So everyone's talking about it already.
Everyone's talking about it. Yeah. So I
didn't realize that.
Everyone said doors.
Okay, Kristen said that everyone's talking about it. So I'm a day late on this. I didn't realize it's been discussed.
Well, you've been dealing with stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Hosmer was like, how could you even answer that? Like, come on, dude.
Then forget this talking point. Okay, we want to thank again all of our viewers here today. We want to thank our sponsors as well, including Mark Nimitz at Farmers Insurance, Auto, Home, Renters, Life Insurance Needs, Earthquake Insurance. If you want to save money in 2022, he can save you $750. There's a link down below for Mark. Click that, get in contact with him if you're in San Diego. He's a huge Padres fan. He'll talk Padres baseball with you. He'll talk about your insurance needs. If you look to save money, if you want to save money, electric vehicles, if you have doors or wheels, Mark Nimitz can help save you money in 2022. Please support Mark. Also, please support Aura, ORA.organic. You can use promo code WRAPUP. You'll get 30% off your first order, whether it's probiotics or proteins or fish oils or whatever the supplement is. They're all plant-based. And then also, if you're purchasing Padres tickets in 2022, do so with us at the Wrap-Up Show. There's a link down below for StubHub. If you're purchasing Padres tickets, you'll get a 100% Fan Protect guarantee. Subscribe to the Wrap-Up Show if you're a Padres fan. Hit the notification bell. Smash the like button. Follow us on Twitter at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. Day one of spring training. We'll have a game today. We'll react to that at some point over the weekend. Again, subscribe to this channel. For Jim, I'm John. This has been the Wrap-Up Show presented by Mark Nimitz.